Hey everybody, what is up? It's Devin, LaVore, and
Michelle LaVore
coming at ya. Or should we say coming back at ya?
Yeah.
Because we just finished off, what did we finish off? Like basically it was a 21-day final push. So we were doing a video every day for 21 days. And then on the 22nd day, we had to do our Act 1, Scene 25? Four?
Because this is 25.
Because this is 25.
Yes.
There you go. And then we took a week off because...
Yeah.
And you'll find out what that's about here in this video. So welcome to the channel. Anyway. But we're doing really good. And we just want to thank you guys for being a part of our channel and blessing us. And thank you to those who give to us financially, supporting us in what we're doing and what God is doing in our lives. We super appreciate it beyond words. How many times do we get offerings, babe, and we're just like, I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Like that, just thank you.
Yeah.
Like it seems so insignificant to say thank you, but we still say thank you, and we thank you for everybody. Thank the Lord for everybody who is involved in what we're doing. And if you want to give to us, because we are support based, there is a PayPal link below, and you can just click it and give as you feel led. You know. So it's been just an interesting week. I feel like this past week has been like a whole month.
Yeah.
In 1 week. Am I right?
Yeah.
There's been so many awesome things. For those of you who follow our channel for a while, or have been following our channel for a while, you know, if we go like 3-4 days without doing a video, it stacks up. You know, all the stuff that we could share.
Yeah.
You know, but you had something that you really kind of wanted to focus on today, so boom.
All right. So.
Did you like that segue?
It's pretty good.
It was very abrupt.
It was.
It's very Devin-like.
Yes. But yeah, so we're basically going to be covering the pregnancy promise process, week 40, and as far as the restoration play, this is scene 25. And
Act 1, Scene 25.
Yes, and as you know, last week in our video, we talked about actually during the video, I felt like I had this picture, a vision from the Lord of Him wrapping us together, and that's really what this week has been about.
Me and you, right?
Yeah, us two.
We're like a ham. God was just twining us.
Binding us together. And I really felt like, and I did, actually that night, I kind of got more revelation as far as like what God was showing us. And it was like God was taking like 2 pieces of meat and it's like, I'm binding you together.
What I look like to you? A piece of meat?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And
you better marinate this, brother.
But I felt like the Lord really, for our hearts, He was like, He spent those 21 days for us, like getting both of us ready. Mm-hmm. And that last week, removing off all of the scars, and for me getting to the place where it's like, all right, I'm really ready to step in. I've come to a place of being at peace with just what the Lord is doing, as far as specifically for me when it came to conflict and just relationship.
This past
tension.
week was a blessing.
Yeah.
You were walking it out. I know I'm stealing some thunder
You
here,
are.
but you were walking it out this past week.
So basically, it was really amazing because I'm not kidding. Basically, like Sunday came and you could already feel like the Lord was like, I'm starting to bind your hearts together. I'm starting to try, because just bind us together, bring us together with just
after 12 years, the two will become one.
Yeah.
Been waiting long enough. No, I'm just kidding.
It's only half a day. What do you expect?
Yeah, there was evening. We're about to go into our morning. Holla.
But like almost, I mean, really, it really started like the Lord was just working on some things, and I felt like in a lot of ways it was like, you know, sometimes when you bring something together and you're bringing it together, it like squeezes some things out. Mm-hmm. And I felt like the first part of the week the Lord was just kind of like squeezing some things out, and then
that tube of toothpaste analogy.
Yeah, kind of
we're
that tube of
getting
toothpaste.
the last little
like,
bit
all right,
there.
Let's get the rest of it. But we were both ready for the process of that. And then basically on Wednesday, it's so funny because it was just kind of somewhat of a joke on, like we were joking around as far as like trying to switch places as far as like how we handle situations, particularly with our kids and things like that. And so it was funny because it was like, well, why don't we just try and be one another? And at first it was like, oh, we're just joking. But the Lord was kind of like, yeah, let's go that direction. And so Wednesday, we really tried to just like, I was trying to be like Devin, and Devin was trying to be like me. And
which basically meant I was chilling out, and she was being more intense and assertive. Yeah.
But it was so cool because I really just felt the Lord. He really was with us in the whole process,
awesome.
And I felt like it was
fun.
Yeah, it was just a great way to really just kind of, I think for myself personally, bring me to a place of stepping in, because I think like because it has to do with conflicts. It's like, oh, if something's coming up and it's like an issue, a lot of times I just want to, okay, well,
you step away.
I step away, especially when it's like for you, it's like you always step in. So it's like, well, he's got it. I'm good.
So you can see the greatest strength is your greatest weakness in there. It's like I'm always stepping in. Okay, well, you don't want to always be stepping in.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Michelle, she has a tendency to just chill out. Well, you don't want to always be chilling out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to step in.
Yeah. So it was just really awesome to see how the Lord was like, okay, let's kind of reverse things, literally like a reversing of trying to be one another. But I felt like the way that the Lord did it became just, for me personally, it was very like, oh wow, okay. It was actually kind of more fun, because I was always feeling this sense of like, oh man, I gotta step in, I gotta know what to do. But it was just like this great practice of just kind of jumping into the situations. Usually it was like you would start it and I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be you, so I'm coming in and trying to be and it was hilarious. It was truly funny. Very comical.
It really broke up an otherwise tense situation.
Yeah. And so it was just
funny and still teachable, and you can learn from the kids.
Yeah, and so it was just it made it very funny, very comical, but there was such growth in it, and I'm like, this is so the Lord. And really throughout the whole week, it just, God was continuing to just have me like step in, walk this out, what he had prepared.
Basically, because the week 3, that's you have your feet shod, have your feet put on some peace shoes. Mm-hmm. You're gonna walk in this. Like, listen, there's gonna be conflict. You better learn how to walk in it.
Yeah.
And then this past week, it's like, well, come on, let's walk.
Yeah.
Let's go. I didn't give them to you so you can keep them in your little Nike box.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. We're about to run here in a minute. Mm-hmm. You better start walking.
Yeah. No, but it was so awesome to see, because I felt like even in that, it was like God just like bringing us together, bringing a unity into a place where there's been a lot of disunity for us personally. And so it was
huge
just
restoration happening.
It
was amazing. It's like, you can prophesy all you want and hear prophetic words all you want. When it happens to you, I think that really is, I don't know. I'm not trying to disrespect the waiting that is necessary and part of the process of getting prophetic words, but when you really receive the fulfillment of the prophetic word as it's happening, that's when the work begins to that's when you just, I don't know, there's something about seeing it that just affects your heart. And
so it really just continued through the whole week. And
it did.
I'm just like, wow. And for me, I'm telling you, had you asked me even last week, would we see what we saw this week? I would have been like, that'd take a miracle. It would, and
okay.
And the Lord's
sounds
like,
good.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll do it. I got that.
I was gonna say something funny. Keep going.
but it was just truly, for me, I was just like, wow, I am seeing something in my own heart and life that I really I didn't think was possible at this point. It was like maybe somewhere down
because it didn't fit
road.
The identity of who you were, that you have embraced and accepted as this is who I am.
Yeah.
It was really outside of that mold,
And so I just think like coming to the end of last week, that's where the Lord's like, hi, you're ready now. Mm-hmm. And then coming into this week, he's like, all right, let's walk it out. And it's been so much better than I ever thought it would be.
And all your fears are just...
Yeah.
It's like nothing that you were afraid of that you caused you to shy away. I'm not gonna do. None of that happened.
Yeah.
You know.
And so it was just really amazing.
Really awesome. And so, like, how did it affect me?
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was just a deeper... I feel like this week, honestly, it really was a kind of a walking it out for me, but it was weird because it almost felt like... I mean, I didn't feel like I was necessarily in the healing oil that was getting rid of all the remnants of the scars that the Lord had pulled off the week before, which is technically 2 weeks ago, if we can keep up with the time frame. I just felt like for me it really was a walking out of things too. But what does that mean? Well, I felt like I was carrying the weight of my whole family, and the Lord was taking all that off. But then last week it was like walking it out, meaning I'm not jumping in to take care of everything and handle this and make sure you're okay and make sure this is and make sure this and make sure that and make sure that was like, and it was tough. It was really difficult, but I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will let the Lord judge whether there was a pass or a fail.
Yeah, we were trying to give each other grades on how well. I think I was doing pretty well being you, but you were struggling
you were
a bit
doing really
to be
well.
me.
Well, and for me, it's a lot of times it's more of like in the spirit, you know, like when we're doing like God times or something like that, and I want it to be a certain way, I have to just like let it go. The Lord's really been working that in my heart. Just if I was going to encapsulate what it's been like, yes, the relational stuff has been a thing for me, but for me, I think the deeper issue is always like the spiritual development of my family, you know, and the relationship with the Lord. And He's really worked this one thing in me, and it is, dude. Yes, He said, dude. My relationship with your family is not your responsibility. You are called to just be who you are. Listen. Just listen to me and follow me. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't make God time something that you think should be really cool, and then just, you know, no. Either they're going to want me and they're going to come after me or not, because this is what's happened in our God times. I'm not kidding you. Even though I've been here, it's almost like I'm not here. I have been kind of absent. I have just been sitting there, not praying, not worshiping, not really giving too much of myself to anything. And I'm just sitting back, and I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? It's almost like everyone else is out there having a party or doing whatever they're doing, and I'm sitting right here next to the Father. And He's like, nope, sit right here with me. Don't say anything. Just chill out. Sit here. Be here. And I'm like, why? This doesn't make any sense. We're supposed to be praising and partying and celebrating and all that. It's like, that's true. I do want that. That is the invitation that's given out and all that stuff. All that. But you, Devin, here, you come sit right here. Just hang out here. That's literally been me all week. For longer than a week, but particularly this past week, because the Lord's it's really working a multiplicity of things. But for me personally, it's just worked in this, like, it either got to be by my spirit or not. You know, either my spirit and the gospel and the things that they have experienced and seen, that has to be enough or not. If you're constantly dragging them to me, then that's what it's always going to take. And so for me, it's just really kind of set me free in a sense of like, all right, and so for me, that really was a walking it out of things. And it's just like, okay, well, and so it touches on that idea of it's not up to me. I'm not carrying them like this anymore. And it's just like, okay, you know, the negative part of me is like, okay, well, we're all going to die. You know, we're just a relationship with the Lord just going to crumble. Or going to be like a gingerbread house LaVore. It's just going to crumble under some, you know what I mean? That's what you think in the negative sense. But it's like, well, you know what, Lord, that's right. You know, I want my family to be in your hands. Lest the Lord keep the city, you know, I'm waking up in vain and doing all this stuff in vain. And it's like, no, we're in the tender, merciful hands of God here. It's just like, there's no safer place, which is a word that He gave me. He's like, you're in a safe place this past week. And it's just like, so that's how it's worked for me, you know. I just wanted to just throw that in there.
It's kind of, it reminds me of, you know, well, there's probably many examples, but just like how, like, on Finding Nemo, his dad is like trying to just protect him all the time, and it's
I'm
like
totally Marlin.
Yeah, and
that's me.
It's like, okay, protect, and then it's like,
did you bump your fin?
Yeah.
Did you bump your fin? Oh, let me brush it for you. Let me. You know,
and then, but it's
can't protect him from life. You know?
But it's like that sense of, sometimes the best way for growth of everyone, you're thinking everything's going to fall, where it's like, actually, by having you over here, things are going to, they're actually going to become stronger, because it's like, oh, nobody's filling this vacancy, like, I've got to step up, kind of like, that happens all the time, I think, with like teams and doing different things like that. It's like you might have one leader that's like, they try and do everything, so the other people are like, oh, okay, well, they got it. And then, but if they're removed, then it's like, oh, we actually have to like step up, and you can actually see a lot of growth.
And it causes them to grow. Yeah.
And
there's a time for leadership, but then there's a time for Moses to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just be with the Lord. It's kind of feel like that's where I've been for the past week. More than that, but whatever. We're just talking about last week.
Yeah.
It was a deeper sense of it, this past week.
Yeah. So it's just been really amazing to see how God's really just been working for both of us. But ultimately, I think
that prophetic word, what you were talking about, is really coming to pass this week.
And so it's just been really cool, though, as well with this week, because I feel like the Lord, literally Sunday all the way through to the end of the week, it felt like he was literally like kind of binding us in the sense of just as a whole family. He was, we had our morning God times and our nighttime God times. And typically, like, sometimes the Lord will spend a whole week on something. Sometimes he'll spend just the morning and something else in the evening. But in particular this week, I was just really noticing how the Lord was like, what he was speaking in the morning, he was speaking at night. And
I totally just got that.
Oh, you just got that?
I totally just got that. Keep going. Keep going. They'll see why I freaked out here in a second.
All right.
Wow, that's amazing. I totally just got that.
And so we were just seeing how literally almost every day we were like, what was spoken on in the morning was spoken on at night. And it just felt like, wow, Lord, you're really just bringing things full circle and going around. And
yes, because I'm tying stuff up.
Exactly.
That was the freak out. Like, wow, I just saw that. I'm slow, but that's fine. I'll get there.
But it was really cool. We started off the week Sunday. The Lord was speaking to us about praise. Monday, which I thought was really crazy because it was the Day of Atonement, like the full day of it. And the Lord ended up really speaking to us about humility and just having humble hearts before him, both in the morning and at night. And then Tuesday, it was interesting too, because both Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, the Lord was really hitting on relationship and relationship with him, relationship with one another, and even just like relationship with the way things have been done with, as far as with the church and where God is going. And it was just, but it was all centered though around just listening to the Spirit, going to the Father, and just really hearing from him and how important it is. It's like, that is the key. We've talked actually a lot about relationship over the last, this week for us, but even, previous weeks, because we had the relationship ring and all of that. And so it was just like, wow, God is really hitting these things on those days. And we had more, God was just giving more about the next couple of years for us, just general things about our day 5 and day 6. And then so it was just really amazing. And then yesterday we ended up last night Saturday night again, it was ended with just this like praise, worship, and the word party. And so we were like, okay.
So it's like the Lord, like, he wrapped up Monday, Tuesday. I think it was like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were like wrap-ups, and then there were different things throughout the other days. But then it's like he started with like, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. It's going to be a week of praise. And it did turn out to be that. The invitation was there anyway. And then the last thing on the night was about party. This is the party. So it's like he's literally wrapping up the whole week. And it's like, wow. You're a prophetess. You just be seeing stuff.
But it was just really awesome, I think, for like just all
You're
that
like,
the
I
Lord.
don't know where you're going there, but yeah, okay.
Thanks, I guess.
Thank you.
But yeah, it was just amazing to see how God was really just bringing things around, and just really, again, coming back to just so much of like the heart of what He's talking about. And so we completed the fullness of the 40 weeks. And so right now, we're on day 1 of week 41, and it's like
we about out to here.
Yeah, and so it really is just
we looked at 40 weeks pregnant photos today.
Yeah.
We showed our kids, and they were like, dang, that's big. That's huge. I'm like, yeah, that baby ain't gonna be in there much longer.
Yeah,
it's coming out at some point.
And that was something that the Lord actually spoke on too, because He's like, hey, remember, like, I'm not gonna bring you to the point.
Oh, Isaiah 66, 7 through 9.
Yeah, of this point of birth and not have you bring forth. And so now I just feel like we're really in this place of like, all right, any day now, Lord, you are doing what you want to do, but there's that completion, and there really was just a fullness to what the Lord has been doing. And I feel like
40 weeks.
That last week was so important.
It was.
Because it was like week 39, God just did so much with our hearts, but it's like, well, the fullness of it is I'm binding you together. I'm bringing you together as one. I'm having you walk these things out. And so that there's a completion there, and now, like, wow, this is good. This is, there's just something there about that, and I'm just like, all right, so now,
well, it's like a 3-legged race. Yeah. It's like we've brought you together, and we've got your, but no, we got your shoes tied even. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little something extra. We're gonna bind the ankles together and tighten it up. Oh man, you're gonna win this race because you're gonna be really tight together. Here, let's just bind the hips. No, I'm just kidding. It's like sometimes the shoelaces might get a little loose.
Yeah.
And then you're starting to get a little loose with each other. And so that extra binding is going to help keep you together, keep you tight, It's called humility.
Yes.
Those bindings are called humility.
Yes. They are.
That's why He hit on that early in the week.
Well, and often.
Yes, early and often.
It was like, keep coming back to this humility, which is a part of that relationship ring. It's a part of what's so vital to relationship with the Lord and relationship with each other.
Yeah.
And like, so I just, it truly was just a great week, but I feel like where it was just like, it felt like a month long in like 1 week. Honestly, starting on Sunday, I'm not kidding you, I think last Sunday it felt like the longest Sunday I've ever had in like forever. It was just like,
we did a video. We did our video that day.
I know, but it was just like, even after the video, it's like, wow, I feel like there's extra hours in this day. Like, what is going on?
That's so funny.
But yeah, so it's just been a week of really the Lord binding us together, our hearts, and just really speaking to the whole family.
Ready. We're ready for this relationally, heart to heart. We're ready for what God's wanting to do. We're ready to receive. We're ready to hold the promise in our hand. We're ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I confidently say that, and I know there's always more to do, He who began a good work in you will complete it unto the day of Christ. Well, until Christ comes back, there's still work to do in the heart, right? But there's only so much work you can do on a certain part of a story before you have to finish that novel and go on to the next one, and so I just feel like we're literally at the end of the end. Of the end of the final of the final of the final. You know what I mean? It's just like this full 40 weeks has actually happened, and it's taken place, and it's just like, okay, it's just like pregnancy where you're just waiting. At 40 weeks, it's like it could literally happen any moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, what promise are we waiting to have born? Well, we've got our promises, just like you guys have your promises, and there's probably so many different kinds. But the bottom line is, whatever that promise is, it's super important and super precious to you, and it's going to be what you for us, it's going to be what we need to go forward. You know, for you, it depends on, you know, the promise. But it's like the bottom line is like we are ready to just. There's literally, I don't know that there's anything more that can be done. And then I say that. Well. It's like, uh-oh. No, I'm just kidding. But no, there's just the waiting, you know, like in a natural pregnancy. Once you reach 40 weeks, it's like, you're just waiting. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, really, the baby is done. What was it we saw? Like, there was a picture. It's like, you've baked. Now it's time to come out or something like that. Oh,
it's like 40 weeks is done. Now it's time to come out, son.
Yeah. It's like, all right, you're done cooking. Yeah. Everything's good. All right, let's get the show on the road. Yeah. So that's what we have to share with you guys today, and hopefully it was kind of a fun video for all of you. And just that I do pray that you guys are blessed by what the Lord is doing in your own life, and pray that you get encouragement that God, He is always moving. He is always preparing our hearts, and you know, we really are so close to just this time of the fulfillment of God's word in our hearts and our lives.
Let the dam be broken.
Yes, and to be expecting it. You know, we were telling our kids, you know, just you go a full 40 weeks, and well, what if the baby's not born on its due date? You know, and it's like, well, that doesn't mean that, well, you're not going to have the baby. You know, it's like,
I guess we're not having a baby after all.
They weren't born on the due date. And it's like, no, it's like, you know, just with the Lord, it's like, He has said, you know, He is going to birth what He has promised, and He is faithful to fulfill His word over our life. And that's what we are expecting. And so, so we will just see. I really feel like kind of going into this week, I have no idea what's coming, but I know that God is going to fulfill His word. And it really is almost this sense of, I think in a sense of surprise, and, you know, the sense of party. You know, the Lord was speaking party last night, and usually when you want to surprise somebody, they're unaware. They're unaware of what's coming. And so yeah,
even if you know your birthday's coming, or you know, like, you know what
I
mean?
You know, even when you know you're going to have a
coming,
baby,
but you don't,
it's like, you know, you just don't know that day, the hour, the time, and it's a suddenly, and it's just like, hey,
it's
surprise!
Suddenly, isn't it? When it comes to birth, it's like, oh, all right, life's on pause. This is what's happening right now.
Yes. So, so we just pray that you guys are blessed. Be expecting the Lord, expecting His suddenly in your life. Yes. And until next time, we will see you guys later.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.